Hi guys, it's Braithwaite and Maflin here for snookerfans.co.uk. We're with our very, very good pal, the magician himself, Shaun Murphy, to catch up with him after his excellent 10-0 victory over Lu Honghao in the first round of the World Championship qualifiers. Shaun,
how are we? What do we know?
I know I've got no rhubarb and custards left. Treated myself to a couple of those after the victory, and they were very sweet. I think I might have a couple of fillings might have gone missing or something, but listen, they were fantastic.
You were supposed to space them out. You wasn't supposed to demolish them in a day or two.
it's supposed to be a couple after.
How do you spell glutton? Is it two T's? Not sure. Listen, it was lovely, and what can I say? No one was more surprised the way that match went than I was. I sort of obviously wanted to win the game, goes without saying, but I didn't for the life of me think I was going to get over the line 10-0. First one in 27 years. So listen, it's just nice to win. The season I've had, it's just nice to be in the tournament. The last 16 that's a tick for me this year. That's a good run. So listen, it's a good and just thrilled to still be here. It's a great atmosphere in Sheffield when the tournament's on. It's nice to be a part of it.
So it's giving you a boost now, is it?
Yeah, I feel better. I came off. I said to a friend of mine, actually felt like Shaun Murphy there during that match. Actually potted some nice balls, good long potting, good break building. Yeah, it was. I haven't forgotten how to do it. It's still in there, but Geezer's just lost a lung there. Just coughed a lung up. Excuse me, mate, you've left your lung on the floor. But it was great to go out there. It's nice to all the practice and all of that stuff, and you keep trying to remind yourself of the good times, and to go out there and actually put it together and play well was rewarded, and onwards and upwards now.
I mean, pal, it's really refreshing to see your break building come back as well. I mean, you started off like house on fire, a couple of centuries earlier in the match. It's all that stamped your authority on the Crucible debutant,
Yeah.
And you could see when he pumped it in 2 centuries, he's thinking, well, I've got him on a good day today, and I'm in a bit of trouble,
Yeah, there is that, and that's what you've got to do. You have to do that early in these matches, especially as you say with someone who's a debutant himself. I've been in, I remember it's not that long ago that I can't remember it. I do remember being a debutant myself, and really that's what Hendry did to me, and I ended up just losing 10-4, but he was all over me like a rash from the moment we walked out there, and that's kind of what you've got to do. So I got my chance in the first. I made a 138.
Yeah.
He actually could have and perhaps should have won the second. He was in and messed it up, and I cleared up again with another 100. So you've got to do that. And I was pleased with how I sort of went about my work really in the end.
Yeah, it was great to see. And you were telling me and Emma on the media there how hard you've been practicing in the Selbridge Club with a good man Fergal and putting the hours in, pal. So that's also, like you said, it's also refreshing to see that come out on the table as well, because sometimes you can be practicing hard and you're just not seeing the results as it's been for quite a while now. But it's great to see it coming out on the snooker's biggest stage,
Well, in a way, like trying to encourage young kids out there and other amateurs and other pros on the tour, who might be going through difficult times themselves. When you start working on new things, it doesn't change overnight. If you imagine trying to if you're on a big cruise liner and you want to you're heading that way, but you actually end up want to go in over there, you start turning it and you start making these changes. It doesn't turn on a sixpence. It doesn't turn. You've got to keep making those little changes, and eventually you're heading towards where you want to go. So it's been that performance of mine the other day, regardless of what happens in the rest of the event for me, that we've been working on that for months. Chris Henry and I sort of picked up again after a couple of years apart. We picked up in December, so it's taken 4 months for that performance to actually come out on the match table, and I hope it's here to stay.
Absolutely, but I mean, it's a bit of a strange one because getting to the final of the Scottish Open close to Christmas, I really thought that the corner had turned for you. Do you know what I mean? But then it went to a bit of a lull again early part of the season. So, like I said, good to see you again bouncing back again. Chris Henry's input obviously been a massive part of all that.
Massive, absolutely massive. Just wondered if that lady could make a little bit more noise. That'd be
I don't know if she can
we're
a bit more, but without as well, do you know what I mean?
But I think in all seriousness, Chris and I had a few years apart, and we didn't fall out. We'll never fall out. We're very, very close friends. We've known each other since I was 14 or 15. So he was a very, very good friend of mine. Good friends for 20 years, but we'll never ever fall out. It was just a case of wanting to go away and try a few different things and. Try a few different, working on a few different things, and I went off and had a year working with Steve Feeney on the Sight Right thing, and understood how that works and what that's about, and it was the right time to get back together and see those things coming back into your game. It was really positive.
So Neil Robertson for you now in the last 16. They're scraping the life out of the chairs. What's next while we're doing this interview is fantastic. But
tidying up.
But Neil Robertson up for you next in the last 16, pal. Thoughts on that one?
Well, I mean, you know, how much tougher does it get? It doesn't get much tougher than that, does it? It's, I mean, Neil's just having the season of his life.
Yeah.
He's having one of the best seasons that he's ever had, and I mean, like, one of the favourites to win here, you know, for this fortnight. So, I mean, I've got my work cut out. I'd say if I play like I played in the first round, you know, I'd say it'll be a cracking game.
Absolutely.
But I could go out and play like that and lose, you know, 10-5, 13-5, 13-6 to someone of Neil's class. So if he, you know, I need to have as best a day as I can, and I need him to have a couple of bad days, and I might be in with a chance.
Emma was making a fantastic point off camera when Reno was talking. She was saying that game actually suits you though, because Robertson likes to get on with it as well, doesn't he? Like, there's going to be too many bogged down frames. He likes to attack, you like to attack. So I think Emma made a great point saying that should be fireworks on the table, you know?
Yeah, and seeing how you played the other day, I'm actually looking forward to the match. I agree. I think it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, but I think it'll only be a good one if both of us turn up.
Yeah.
You know, and I think we've both got a lot of respect for each other, and you know, obviously know what each other's capable of. We've played each other many times. We've played here. Obviously, we've had a couple of Masters finals. We won each in that sort of terms, and you know, we've had some really good matches over the years. Came through at sort of a very similar time. He was on and off the tour in his early career, as was I, on the tour first year off straight away. You know, so we've had a very similar sort of track record, if you like. Our service history, if we were a car, our logbook says the same sort of story.
Logbook.
Yeah, I mean, I can make some really weird analogies, you know, just compared our lives to log cars. But you know what I mean? Like, you know, we've actually had very similar careers. He's a lot more decorated and won more ranking events than I have. But in terms of sort of certainly for respect for each other, I'd say we're, you know, very evenly matched. And yeah, if we both turn up, it could be match of the round, like, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Shaun, also want to touch on something that happened today. James Cahill, mate. Wow, what a result. We spoke about it before the tournament. Emma asked you that really good question, what you thought about an amateur being in the event, and now he's beat the world number one, pal. What's your thoughts?
It's just like as shocked as everybody. I mean, I know a little bit more about him than I think other lads do, because we work with the same coach, so I sort of know through Chris. You know, I know what he's on, what he's like, and what he's about, and what they've been working on, and you can see a lot of that in his game. He's got massive self-belief. I mean, a lot of that's James himself. That's the way he is, but a lot of that's Chris's input. And I think you can just see that on his game. He believes in what he's doing. He wasn't frightened of the rocket. He went out and played his own game. He wasn't bothered about the crowd. It can be quite a ruthless experience playing O'Sullivan anywhere in the world, and he wasn't fazed by any of that. He went out and played, and listen, I mean, you know, it goes to, if anyone was in any doubt, it goes to prove that when you walk out of that curtain, all bets are off, and it's you know, the first man to 10 wins, and you know, yeah, you can have favourites on paper, but it doesn't really mean anything. And you know, probably the only person in the world who thought James could win was James himself, and he did. I mean, fair play to him. An amazing result.
Well, I mean, you remember shocking the world yourself in 2005, coming here as a young man. Brash
He's still a young man.
Yeah,
well, youngish, you know what I mean? But as a young man, brash, big shoulder, walked. I remember when he walked, chest puffed out as well, man. Just blew the field away, ramming long balls in left, right, and centre from everywhere, mate. And
clueless is the word I think you're looking for. Completely clueless.
Don't forget the braces.
Yeah.
Don't forget about the braces.
So, mate, little time off now before you play again. What's the plan between now and then?
Yeah, do you know, I've literally just been ploughing through box sets in my room, staying out of trouble. I'm doing a few practice sessions. I'm going to be working with the BBC, you know, for some of the rounds for this tournament up till the semis, doing a bit of punditry, a bit of commentary, and just keeping out of danger. Really, I think that's a big challenge of this tournament. Is you have so much downtime, not to get involved in social media, not to get involved in, you know, all of this stuff that's going around. Just try and put a pin in everything for the time being, and just concentrate on being here to play snooker and try my best. I mean, it sounds good. Like, it sounds like a great idea. It could all mean nothing, of course, but you know, I'll try my best and see where we end up.
Just out of interest, Shaun, what box set are you on? What are you watching?
Yeah, I use box set, you know, as a very loose term. It's the Grand Tour, you know, the car thing with Jeremy Clarkson and all that.
Right, okay.
So I'm just ploughing through Amazon now, watching that, because it's, you know, it's right up my street, that with the cars and messing around. So it's good, that. So yeah, I was absolutely devastated. I fully intended to blitz through Game of Thrones while I was here.
I was waiting for it. Everybody is talking about that. Have you?
Well, I'm one of those people who still hasn't watched it.
Snap. Me too, mate.
I'm
No, I
in,
haven't.
well,
I
us
haven't.
three make up a
Yep.
very, very small minority.
Correct.
So I came here with every intention to blitz through it. It's on Sky, you can download it and all the rest of it. I've gone on my Sky thing on my iPad and it won't let me download it. I don't know if it's the Wi-Fi in the hotel or what, but it won't let me do it, so I'm like devastated. So if anyone's got any ideas where I can watch Game of Thrones,
Send the link through, guys.
Send me a
Send it
link
through.
through, yeah.
Well, do you remember last year we were sitting having a coffee with Shaun, and that screen that they have there showing the matches so the crowd can still see if they can't get into the Crucible. You were on there last year playing golf.
Oh, grief, yeah, that golf thing, yeah, I do remember that, yeah.
So, and I know you like your golf, don't you?
Yeah, I do,
so
yeah.
How have you been playing much of that lately?
I haven't played a lot, mainly just with having moved to Ireland. I haven't found a sort of a club to call home yet. I've played a bit over there with some friends, and Ken's really looked after me there, and a good friend, a real good amateur player, probably the best amateur player in Ireland, Robbie Murphy.
Yeah.
He's been looking after me as well, and yeah, we've got out for a few games, and I think once the season finishes here, we'll get out on the course, and I need to find a find a course to call home.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, snooker's really been although my form has been poor and the results haven't been great, snooker's been the sort of at the forefront of my mind really the last few months. There hasn't really been time for golf. Plus, with two young kids and a wife, Elaine works full time as well. We've both got full time careers. Two young children, both under 2.5. It's difficult for me to come in and go, oh right, by the way, I'm off playing golf.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going down well.
That's tough.
Is she still
Goes down like a fart in a lift.
Is she still getting rid of all the spiders for you?
Grief. Fortunately, we haven't had any problems with spiders where we've moved in. Those spiders in our old house were massive. Like, they were ridiculous. They had tattoos. It was a joke how big
And
those
Elaine had to
spiders
get rid of
were.
them.
I know, because you didn't like them, did he? It's frightening, spiders, isn't
She
it?
said, are you okay with spiders? I said, yeah, I'm all right. And I turned around, this spider went, what are you looking at?
Sean, before we wrap up, mate, just tell us what it's been like life in Ireland anyway, since you moved from obviously our lovely shores here to Ireland, mate. What's it been like over there, pal?
It's amazing actually, because I mean, my family come from Ireland. We come from a little place called Kilcock in Kildare, and my parents were both born over in England, and so I'm obviously English, but my sort of heritage is Irish, and obviously Elaine was born there as well. So to go back there has been like a real massive homecoming for us both. But it's a funny one because Ireland's only just over there. It's only there.
Yeah.
But there are some quite stark differences living over there. First of which is the driving.
Yeah.
They can't drive. No one in Ireland can drive. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Like, you drive in India and China, you see bad driving over there. It's like you're driving around the motorway around Dublin, around the M50. It's like, the Destruction Derby or something. It's like every car's got a bump on it, every car's got a scratch on it. But they get out the other end, they go, sure, you'll be grand. Like, they don't care. Like, so there's but in all seriousness, it's very, very similar. But there are some real key differences as well. Like, and you're just different in ways you wouldn't think. I think it's just so much more relaxed over there. And sport and just enjoying your time seems to be such a priority for people over there. Everyone's a massive sports fan. Snooker is way more popular there than I would have ever believed. It's everyone on the street knows the game inside and out, and very, very popular over there. And as I touched on there with you the other day, it's been great to get back into a snooker club. Get back with the guys, and they sort of talk your language.
It's tremendous environment,
you have that banter and the vibe, and that's been great. So they've really welcomed us. Like, they've made the move as easy as it possibly could be. If they could just learn to drive a little bit better, we'd all get on a lot better.
How about the travelling side of things? Because obviously you have to get on a few more planes now. How are you finding that? And I've spoke to you about this before. You like queuing up. You like marking things on the map. You like travelling. I remember everything we've spoken about. But how is that now? Is it really strange, or are you just taking it in your stride like you do everything?
It literally is as simple as that. Most places, if you just literally take a little extra flight somewhere, anywhere in the UK to Dublin is like 40 minutes. They just barely have time to serve a tea or a coffee, and the plane's up and down. So it's a first world problem. It's not an issue at all. And then, of course, all the Chinese tournaments that we have, all the tournaments out in India and China, not that I've been to many of them this year with the qualifiers, they all fly from the Emirates, fly from Dublin, so that's just the same as it ever was for me. Getting around the place, I think a few people were a bit, or maybe that's had some impact on you and the extra travelling and this, that, and the other. But I'm sure, you know, Ken's made it a very big success of it. Fergal's done very well. Mark Allen's the same. You know, all the boys. You know, it's you just get on the plane and go somewhere, don't you? And it's just the way it is. And then if you don't fancy that, I use the ferry quite a lot. Put the car on the ferry, Dublin to Holyhead in the northwest of Wales, and just drive across the coast there. And hour and a half, you're into Cheshire and back to civilization. It's
Civilization.
yeah. But you can drive from Holyhead for an hour and a half to Manchester and not see a human being. Like, you know, it's
Correct.
Weird.
Yeah, very weird.
Very strange.
Very
But
weird.
yeah, once you hit Manchester, you see the bright lights of Old Trafford. You're back into civilization.
Absolutely, pal,
I
absolutely.
really want to talk about Man United though, with their drubbing they had.
Well, I didn't want to touch on it either, Sean. You know what I mean?
Go down that road.
Not being a Liverpool fan, I didn't want to touch on it either,
Go
Sean. You
down
know.
that road, really.
Let's not. Move on.
Come on, City.
But Sean, look, like, I know we're not going to keep you for too much longer, pal, because we really appreciate your time, and I know that you're enjoying your coffee and enjoying the lovely surroundings, pal. But me and Emma and all of us at snookerfans.co.uk, mate, really appreciate your time.
You're very welcome, anytime.
And love catching up with you, pal.
Cheers.
Want to wish you the very best for the rest of the tournament.
Thanks very much.
Yeah,
a lot.
thanks, Sean.
Cheers, guys. Cheers.
Top man.